Welcome back to WSAV News 3 today at 11. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s philosophy of nonviolent protest continues to influence civil rights movements worldwide. Known for his masterful oratorical skills, the Baptist minister and Nobel Peace Prize laureate made several stops in the hostess city, from the historic pulpits of Second African Baptist Church to St. Paul's CME Church. This is where this video is from. He was a catalyst for peacefully dismantling segregation in the South. In Savannah, one organization has been keeping his legacy alive for the past 41 years. Retired Judge LeRoy Burke III is the president of the MLK Observance Day Association. He joins us now with more on the organization and how you can get involved in its latest fundraising effort. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us, Kim.
It's been a whirlwind year for you. You're going into your second year at the helm of the organization.
Yes, and it's hard holding on to the rudder sometimes, but yes.
So this is an organization that you've been a part of for many, many years, but it's different when you're leading everything.
Absolutely. When you're following, you can just kind of follow, but when you lead, you have to make decisions in every aspect. You have to know about what's going on in every aspect too. So,
tell us a little bit about the history of the organization. I know it's been around since 1985.
I believe that's when we were incorporated. Of course, the late Reverend Benny R. Mitchell Jr. and several other people got together and decided, forget what the nation was going to do. We're going to celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday. And put a committee together, and it started initially with prayer services and a parade. And it's expanded over the years. We have about 10 different programs now that we do during the year. The one coming up is usually toward the beginning or the middle of what we call our event year, which runs from July 1st to June 30th. This year, because of different aspects, it got pushed to the end of the year. So here we are, August 15th, with our business and community luncheon that we're looking forward to.
And it's such a wonderful event because it brings so many people who may not otherwise meet together.
Well, and I thought about that too. A lot of times these folks meet, but they meet online or they meet over the phone, and sometimes putting a face to a voice makes a big difference in how you relate.
How did you get involved with the organization and why?
Ooh, I got involved, I guess, in about 94, 95.
Ooh, in the 1900s, huh? I'm just kidding.
Well, yes, but it was part of the parade.
Yes.
And that was the big thing, and I'd go out and help people get in line and all of that, and gosh, that's when I learned the bicycle was the best way to get around, because walking around for 5 or 6 hours trying to get everything together was just tiring. But that's how I got started, and then I worked on other committees as we went. The parade being our biggest event, but I worked on different committees as we went along, and suddenly I found myself thrust into the office of president. So here I am.
And so you mentioned the parade. Not only is it one of Savannah's biggest events, but one of the biggest events, MLK events, in the country.
It is. It is. Last year we had 286, I believe, participants.
Yes.
And we're setting aside for 300 this year. We hope we can have 300. So we'll see. And
you actually start planning for the next parade right after that parade ends.
We do, and we're taking applications now for the parade that comes up in January.
Yeah, a couple of other things I want to get to before we talk about the brunch that's coming up is that you give away scholarships and you give back to the community. That's what these fundraisers are about.
And that is what we do. Of course, we have to survive.
Yeah.
We have rent, we have phone bills and whatnot, but we do give back to the community. Our community give back was last month, I forget the date, and we had a scholarship program a couple of months before that. So that is two of the things that we really do. And any excess monies that we have, we really try to put it into scholarships even more than community give back.
Yeah. I want to mention on a personal note that 3 of my children are MLK scholarship recipients, and that money really does help families. You think when you send your child off to school that That's it, but there are other costs involved.
There are, and just the cost of schooling itself has risen dramatically. You joked about 1900s for me, but when I went to school, my first year in college, room, board, everything was $1,250.
Wow, wow.
That same university now, it's like $40,000.
Exactly.
No books. We're talking about books. We're not talking about lab fees or anything like that. $40,000
for tuition.
For tuition.
Yeah. So next weekend, August 15th, is a big day because that is the day of the brunch. Tell us what we can expect.
Well, as a speaker, we have Dr. Jermaine Worrell,
yes,
who is the president of Savannah State University. We're very proud and excited to have him. He's a young person, and quite frankly, we need young people in our organization, and we're hoping that he will help stimulate some response in young people to join organizations like this. He's dynamic, and we're looking forward to having him.
Now we're taking a look at some video from I think 2 years ago, because we see Attorney Lester Johnson there. This was when Edward Moody actually emceed the event. We saw Miss Mercedes Wright Arnold and Coach Booker in that video as well. I don't want to mention everybody because he was the parade grand marshal that year, but this is an event that brings hundreds of people together.
We're hoping for 300 this year.
Wow.
At the Marriott. So if you don't already have your tickets, we still have some tickets available. You can call the office or come by the office at 1206 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Or you can call us at 912-234-5502 and we make arrangements for you to get tickets.
Okay, and I can't let you leave without asking you this question, because this is something that we talk about every year as we honor Dr. King. Though he is revered today, during the civil rights movement, he was one of the most hated men in America, but he had a dream, and that dream has yet to be fulfilled.
It has, and I want to correct something. I don't think he was hated as much as he was feared.
Okay.
And I say that because during that time, if you align with somebody like King or NAACP or any organization that was pressing for civil rights, your job was in jeopardy, your livelihood was in jeopardy. So I don't know if it was hate as much as it was fear.
And one last note on why people should get involved with the organization.
People should get involved with the organization because it's a community organization. It is something that I think is needed now more than ever in these divisive times. A lot of people thought he was a divider, but he wasn't. He was for everybody, and he brought principles to bear that lots of organizations use now as their cornerstone when they're trying to achieve things, particularly equality within the nation. I want to mention one other thing too. I really appreciate your participation over the years. And I sent you some pictures, and one of them had a date stamp on it, and it was date stamp 2006.
Yes.
So at least 20 years, and I know more.
Yeah, back in the 1900s.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Judge Burke, for being here today. And here's the information on your screen. The MLK Observance Day Association's annual Business and Community Unity Luncheon is next Saturday, August 15th. Some tickets are still available, so get yours now. It starts at 11:30 a.m. at the Marriott Savannah Riverfront. That's at 100 General McIntosh Boulevard. You can find more information and see this interview again anytime by visiting our website, wsav.com/community corner. One more thing I want to mention, and that is this organization is for everyone.
It's
not a specific group of people, but for the entire community.
It's for everybody.
All right. Thank you, Judge Burke.
Thank you for having us.